Just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do.
Sure, so my name's Oliver, known as Ro, and I'm an online personal trainer, qualified nutrition coach, and I basically work with busy professionals, founders and entrepreneurs to help them lose fat, build muscle, feel more confident and generally just be more productive in their day-to-day life and things that they're doing. So the two benefits of incorporating something like health and fitness into your schedule if you're a busy person is, number one, mentally it's going to be really useful for you. Going and releasing some endorphins is going to make you feel good, it's going to get you out of the office, and it's going to ensure that, you know, all the stuff that you've been doing day to day can just be left for a minute and you can just have a break from it. Number two, physiologically is going to help as well. So you're sat at your desk all day, you're not really doing much activity, so going to the gym is actually going to increase the amount of, caloric burn that you have, and that's going to ensure that, you can potentially drop some fat whilst you're, doing your busy job. So the one tip that I give for busy people to get fit and healthy is to build a sustainable plan. So you probably find with most people is the crash diet. So they're like, oh, I need to drop 10, 20 pounds or whatever, and they crash diet straight away. They cut out all their carbohydrates and they basically set themselves up to fail straight away. Now, of course, in the short term, that's going to give them a benefit of weight loss, but it's actually going to, scupper their chances of success going forward. Ideally, what you want to do is diet down sustainably, slowly drop your calories, don't cut out food groups, allow yourself to eat the foods that you like, but basically focus on portion control, focus on getting lots of protein in your diet, lots of vegetables, and then at the weekend if you want to have the odd glass of wine there, that's cool, but it's about fitting this around your lifestyle and not crash dieting. So the three main excuses I get from people why they can't take fitness around a schedule, number one is they don't have the time. Now, I don't believe in this, so I work with some entrepreneurs and busy founders that work 80-hour weeks and they still find time to do things. You can do it, you can do things like home workouts, it doesn't have to be at the gym, but you do need to set this habit every day. So what I say to people is, in the morning, wake up and before you go to work, do a 30-minute workout in your bedroom. Now, if you do that, that's gonna get it done for the day, you feel good, and then you can focus on what you need to do for the rest of the time. The second excuse that I get from people is that they don't have access to food or that they don't have time to meal prep. Of course, it can be difficult to meal prep when you're busy, but there's so many ways in which you can track your food and eat on the go and still be healthy. For instance, you can use MyFitnessPal to track your food and substitute foods in and out. There's lots of healthy, fast food places that you can eat at, places like Tortilla, Subway, if you pick the right subs. Even like a Tesco meal deal can actually be okay for you if you pick the right things, but it all just comes down to choice. And then once you have a system like tracking where you can, input foods in and out, it just makes your life easier. You can eat on the go and, meal prep's not an excuse. Like for me, I'm really busy, I run a business, I don't meal prep at all. What I do is I just track my food, I understand what's in those foods, and I give myself lots of options so it can be easy and convenient. So a way that busy people can make fitness part of their lifestyle is building good habits. So when someone comes to me and they want to work with me, the first thing I say to them is build a good habit every day. Like, don't worry about your goal because you'll achieve your goal if you build good habits every day. So for instance, they'll come to me and they'll be like, oh, I want to drop 20 pounds or 10 kilos or something like that. I always say don't focus on the goal, focus on maybe fasting in the morning and building the habit of fasting so you reduce your overall calories. Now when you build that habit, that goal is going to become a lot more attainable because you basically got the roadmap to get there. People can get scared by goals, and especially if they're trying stuff and it's not working straight away, they're focusing on the goal too much and not the habit. So the key is to build a habit every single day that's going to help you. For instance, this could be like a 30-day challenge to fast until lunchtime. If you do that for 30 days, I guarantee you will lose weight because you've built that habit, and then that'll be setting you to do later on down the line, and weight loss will become easy. So it would definitely be build a habit if you want a consistent result. So if you've only got 30 minutes in the gym and you want to work out, the key thing that you need to do is get the most for your time, right? So to get the most bang for your buck with muscle groups trained per exercise, you want to focus on compound movements. So things like squat, bench, deadlift, those can be really useful as they train so many muscles in a short period of time. You can also focus on doing things like drop sets and supersets. So this is where you do an exercise back to back with another one, or even drop the weight by 50% and go straight in. That's less rest time between sets. You're still going to be able to get the volume and the work doing, and it also means you get out of the gym pretty quickly as well. For some people that say they don't want to go to the gym, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to go to the gym and, be a meathead and deal with the lifting. What you can do is incorporate things in your daily routine that are activity, but doesn't feel like exercise. So I always say going for a walk at lunch or in the evening can really help increase your steps, and that can actually help you burn fat in the long run if your diet's on point. You can also do home workouts as well, so you can do lots of core work with your abs. I even say to people, just go and play a sport. So go and play five-a-side with your work lot, because you burn so so many calories doing 5-a-side. If you couple that with doing some resistance training at home, or if you're traveling away and working away in a hotel, you're still going to get some great results. So you don't have to go to the gym to get results. Really, you've got to do what fits around you and your lifestyle. For busy people that have got a family, so let's say you work long hours and you've got to look after your kids, there are some things that you can do to definitely help you get exercise and live a better lifestyle. And I think the first one is to try and get your family involved in some stuff. If you're looking after kids and they've got high energy, go out with them, like go to the park, play football, run around. All that sort of stuff is going to be really, really useful to, again, increasing your energy, expenditure, and spending time with your kids too, which is great. If they're too young and they can't do that, a great thing that you can do is just set some time aside, again, in your routine to do this. So it could be, you might have to get up a little bit earlier before the kids get up and go out for a run. Now, of course, you're going to get less sleep, but if you're busy and you really care about your health and your well-being, then that's one thing you can do. Lunchtimes as well are always a great one. So if you can pop to the gym for half an hour during your lunch break, bring a gym kit to work and bash out a session, that can be really good too. So that means the evenings you've got free, you can do the stuff you need to with your wife and your kids and still get it done. When someone asks me what's the most important diet or training, there is not an answer. It's a trick question. So both of them are just as important as each other. What I do want to say is, nutrition is going to play a big role in the way you look. Right, so when it comes to body composition and muscle gain and fat loss, your diet's really going to play a big role. But your training is also going to be a big driver as well. So for instance, if you're trying to drop body fat and you still want to look muscular, you've got to be training and lifting as heavy as possible so you can retain the muscle you've got on your frame and look good as you drop body fat. So to answer your question, neither of them are more or less important than each other. They're both as important, but they both have different benefits. People ask me, should I train in the morning, should I train at lunch, should I train in the evening? And to be honest, it actually doesn't matter when you train. What you need to do is, number one, the key to any successful program is adherence. So what can you adhere to the most? If you find that in the morning you're half asleep and you've got to get to work and you just can't do that and train, like I'm that person, I literally never train in the morning. So I just train in the evening. There's no difference from, a success point of view. It's all down to you and your lifestyle and what you like. And for instance, fasted cardio as well, there's, no additional benefit of doing fasted cardio when it comes to fat loss compared to fed cardio. It's all about your total calories throughout the day and, throughout the week that's going to cause you to get that fat loss. So again, training is all around when you can do it and when's best for you. Intermittent fasting is also a big one for busy entrepreneurs and professionals. The reason why I advocate this to people that are busy in the mornings and do a lot of desk work is, number one, they're very sedentary, so they're not really doing much in the way of activity. So actually trying to restrict their calories in the morning is very beneficial. They can get through a lot of work, they can be really focused, not have to focus on food, cooking, washing up, all that stuff. Focus on work until about 12 o'clock, drink a lot of water and some caffeine, which again is going to help them focus, and then they can have their first meal around 12 p.m. That can help restrict calories throughout the day and throughout the week to help them drop body fat. When it comes to supplements, you don't need supplements necessarily 100% to, get results, but they can be useful. Two of my favorite supplements that I like to use are creatine, number one. So creatine is great for muscular endurance, and it's also going to help with strength in the gym, especially if you're dieting. It's going to give you that last push for those extra reps. You don't need to load it, you don't need to cycle it. 5 grams a day is absolutely fine. Just make sure you drink lots of water. Another supplement I'd recommend is whey protein. Now, it's not really a supplement, but for this question, I'm going to say that it is, because it's going to help you increase your protein intake, and it's one of the most bioavailable proteins out there. So what that means is your body is actually going to use up most of the protein that's bioavailable than it is from other sources such as nuts and seeds. So whey protein can be really, really useful. It's very cheap as well, and you can take it everywhere with you. So yeah, those are the two that I'd recommend. I'd say accountability is probably the most important factor in anyone achieving anything long term. So, if you set yourself a goal, you actually need people along the way to help and support you, give you advice. But mainly it's just being accountable, like it's checking in every single week. If you don't have that, it's easy to let things slip, isn't it? It's easy to fall back into old habits. You're going to get way more success if you're accountable to somebody. It's going to keep you in line, it's going to keep you going towards your goals. So when it comes to accountability, the way that I work with my clients is I check in with them every week through video to see how they're getting on. And I also give them on-the-hand support, through WhatsApp if they have any questions. But every person's different. Some people go through certain periods where they need you a lot. So essentially at the start, they're going to maybe need your help a bit more and to stay accountable. But as things progress, they can become more self-motivated. It can also be different. They can start off really well and then be demotivated as, the latter part continues. So again, it depends on the person, but really what it's about is seeing it yourself, understanding yourself, seeing where you're about to fall off, and then finding that person that can help you, whether that's a coach, whether that's a family member or one of your friends, to really ensure that you carry on and be successful. A couple of the reasons why people fall off, I've touched on one of them earlier, and that's, going too hard too quickly and crash dieting. So you find, they give it their all for about a week, they drop a little bit of weight, and then they completely binge, they fall off, they go out on the weekend, and that's it, right? And they've done their plan for about a week. So that's definitely the first one. The second one is not having a why or a reason why they're doing something. So I always ask my clients before, I get them on a plan, why do you want to succeed? Maybe you want to go on holiday and look great on holiday, have a great set of abs. Maybe you want to look healthy for, your kids or something like that as you get older and you want to be around them. That can be a big reason. But the why is always your anchor, and it's the one that keeps you there when, you don't really feel like doing it, but know you should. So the days you have a long day at work and you really can't be bothered to prep your food, your why is going to be like, right, I need to prep my food today. This is the reason I need to, stay on track, and that's going to prevent you from falling off. My 3 recommendations for busy people starting out on a new plan or a new fitness journey is, number 1 is setting yourself your why. Okay, so number 1 has to be your why, like I've said, why do you want to succeed? The second one is to have a structure and a plan in place that's sustainable. So from a training perspective, you want to be like, how many days can I go to the gym? What do I have access to? And finding, ways that you can work around that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to stick to it. Find something you enjoy, find the amount of days you're going to do that, and then stick to that consistently. The third one's going to be around nutrition, and that is to be very focused on portion control and getting the right foods into your diet. So you want to base most of your meals around protein sources, things like meat, fish, eggs, whey protein with lots of vegetables, and only a small portion of carbohydrates. And this is going to allow you throughout the week, Monday to Friday when you're working, to stay on track, stay focused. Then on the weekend, if you want to have a drink, you can have the odd beer, you can have the odd glass of wine and not feel guilty. So yeah, those would be my 3 recommendations. Where you can find me on Instagram at Roanwar, same as YouTube, and my website is roanwarfitness.com. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you PROMiXX for having me, and yeah, make sure you like the video if you did and subscribe to the channel.